Exclusive interview for Inside California Politics. The Bay Area author told me why he is running as an independent. This is the second time Shellenberger will be opposing Newsom in a race for governor. He ran as a Democrat in 2018, placing 9th in the primary that year. Shellenberger explained to me why he's running as no party preference.
Because I genuinely have no party preference. In fact, I'm pretty fed up with the parties. So yeah, I just felt like California really needs someone to bring it together right now. I see things in the state from really everybody's point of view. I'm a father, I'm a husband. I came here when I was in my early 20s. I've lived in downtown San Francisco, downtown cities. I've lived in the suburbs. I love this state. I see it from all points of view, and I really think I can bring it together.
So Republican State Senator Brian Dahle announced his run for governor earlier this year. That filing deadline for candidates is coming up soon. It's tomorrow. So far, all of the major candidates in the recall election have passed on running. Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer has not yet announced his plans. All right, so joining us now, our Fox 40 Capitol reporter Ashley Zavala. Ashley, as I said, the filing deadline is coming up tomorrow. So how do you think this news impacts the governor's race thus far?
Well, I guess at this point we are waiting to hear back from Senator Brian Dahle and Governor Gavin Newsom's campaign. They've been aware of this news. We have reached out to them basically since 3 o'clock. We have not yet heard back. We did hear from Governor Newsom's senior economic advisor the former senior economic advisor, Lenny Mendonca. He tweeted, "Oh, please," in reaction to the tweet that she sent out on Twitter. And he also mentioned Shellenberger's track record being 9th in the California primaries in 2018.
Yeah, he ran in 2018 as a Democrat. He decided to run as no party preference. I asked him in our conversation, why are you running as no party preference? He says, frankly, I feel like I'm just fed up with both parties, and this is the approach that I want to take right now. But we have to point out that, and you know this well, Ashley, is to run for office, especially in a state like California, you need name ID and you also need money. The governor has the party apparatus behind him, and he also has $25 million in the bank.
He absolutely does, and it's going to be interesting to see how Shellenberger can raise money. We know that he has a niche following with those books that he wrote, San Francisco and Apocalypse Never. Even at the Sacramento Public Library System, for example, there is a pretty sizable waiting list for that book, but we'll have to see if he can expand that following and be able to really raise money to go up against the Goliath that is Governor Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, he obviously, came out victorious following the recall election, won it handily. The governor, there really hasn't been any big names that have come out. No one in the recall election. Of course, you mentioned that we're still waiting to hear a yes or no on Mayor Faulconer. That speculation that he was going to challenge the governor again. But the governor has to feel, with the money, as I mentioned, he has in the bank and the results of the recall, he has to feel emboldened. I mean, his state of the state, let's be honest, he says it in his press conferences. Forgive me for being long-winded. And it was 17 minutes.
It was 17 minutes. And maybe, some critics might say, oh, he thinks this is a walk in the park, that the state of the state was really a campaign to a kickoff to his campaign. But, as we look at this primary process, the election is in June. The top two candidates with the most votes go on to November. That's a lot of time. Governor Gavin Newsom, there's a lot of polling. There's a lot of issues that can unfold between then and now. And you just really never know what happens in this election. But at this very moment, most would say that the governor has it in the bag.
You mentioned polling. Some polling that Berkeley did and also we did for Inside California Politics said yes to the recall, but it also had another outcome when it came to 2022, right?
Right. Well, 2022, and we should know this poll is dated. It is pre-recall, but we question voters. Would you like to see someone new in 22, or would you like to see Governor Gavin Newsom? And about 60% said they'd like to see someone new. So we'll just have to see if, again, we are in a post-recall process. This is a different election, but we'll just have to see what happens.
What is the state of the Democratic Party here in California? Because we also know that Twitter is not real life, but there seems to be some fractures within the party. And I know you're talking to lawmakers and insiders on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Well, it started with the Progressive Caucus of the California Democratic Party taking issue with health care bill that did not pass in the Assembly, or that didn't even come up for a vote in the Assembly, and that propelled the progressives to really try to block endorsements from those who were going to reject this bill. Anyway, there is a potential movement for the progressives to break off from the Democratic Party. And what that means for Governor Newsom, at this point, we know that the Progressive Caucus does support the governor publicly, but we'll just, again, there's so much time and so many things that could unfold in this election.
And pretty much since Republican Senator Brian Dahle announced, we haven't heard much from him, right? There was just that kickoff that I believe was in Reading, and then it's sort of been radio silence.
It has been radio silence, and there were Republicans who really had no idea that he was running, and that was really a surprise for a lot of members of the party. But yeah, I don't know if he'll get vocal about this. I don't know. You know, we haven't even really seen his reaction to some of the governor's proposals, like Care Court, and with everything unfolding with Prop 47 and the crime, really. But we'll just have to really wait and see. I guess this is when the period will ramp up now that the filing deadline tomorrow is here.
We are winding down. You know, candidates don't want to wait to the very last second. We saw on the recall with Larry Elder, if there's any clerical issues that can create some turmoil, and you don't want to appear out of the gate like you were stumbling. So
Absolutely.
if you're waiting up against that deadline, it could pose some problems.
Absolutely.
Our Fox 40 Capitol reporter, Ashley Zavala, you have your ear to the ground every single day. Appreciate your reporting, appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you.